What's up YouTube? My name is Caden and you're watching Gas at Garage. Today we bought a John boat with a Nissan 5 horsepower 2-stroke engine on it. And in this video I'm going to be cleaning it up, getting the engine running, and taking it out for a drive. Enjoy the video. Alright guys, so we just got this John boat here for my brother's birthday, and it actually needs a little bit of work before we can get it in the water. We actually don't even know if this thing will float yet, so we need to do that. And I also need to grind off all of this old nasty looking paint on here to get this thing back to its original shiny aluminum look, which is going to take a lot of work. So I'll just probably do a long time lapse of that. Now, the engine is a Nissan 5 horsepower 2-stroke engine that's water cooled, obviously, since it's a outboard. And pretty much all it needs is a little bit of work on this cowling on the top to get it to hold on properly, because right now there's just a little piece of duct tape holding it on. And I'm probably just going to clean up the inside of it a little bit and clean the carburetor. And I'm also going to be cleaning up this gas tank, putting on a new fuel line, and putting some new gas in it. And then we should be able to put this thing in the lake and go take it for a drive. So let's start by getting this engine off of here, getting it into the garage, and starting by cleaning the carburetor. This thing's got a quick disconnect fuel line, which is going to be nice for taking this gas tank in and out. Although we do need to replace the fuel line, like I mentioned earlier, because it's pretty dirty and it's kind of kinked in some places, and it's kind of old and needs to be replaced. That was easy. Let's start by getting this cowling off and cleaning the carburetor. And by the way, we just got back from mini mayhem with cars and cameras, and we haven't got all the machines back in the garage yet, so that's why there's nothing in here. So be sure to go check that video out right here, because that video was fun to make and mini mayhem was a whole lot of fun. I highly suggest you go check it out. So let's go ahead and get this carburetor clean. Alright, so I just got the carburetor clean. I tested for spark, and I also replaced the fuel filter on this thing. And everything checks out, so I don't have a good fuel line right now or a full fuel tank, so we're going to see if it'll fire off on some starting spray. Cool. All right, the next step in this process is to kind of clean up the fuel tank and replace the fuel line because the old one is pretty old. So Alright guys, so I just got the fuel line replaced on this thing, and since the end of it was actually slightly smaller than the original one, I had to put this black line on here with 2 hose clamps, but it fits perfectly. And what's nice about this is it has a quick disconnect on both ends of the fuel line, so you can just take it off like this. So I've got some 2-stroke gas mixed up right here. I've got 3 gallons of it in that tank with oil mixed. I think I mixed it like 50-1 if I remember correctly. So let's go ahead and connect this just like that, and I'm going to prime it a little bit. Alright, so apparently there's something wrong with this piece that is the straw that goes down inside the gas tank, and I tried blowing through it and I can't, which means there's some sort of blockage inside of this thing that I have to clear out somehow. So I'm probably going to do this off camera because it's probably going to take me a minute just to figure it out. But what I'll do is take this little piece off right here and then probably use a compressor to blow some air through this thing and get the flow going, because I was pumping that priming bulb and nothing was flowing through this. And like I said, I tried blowing through it and it's completely jammed up. So there must be something stuck in this that's preventing fuel from actually going through. All right, so there was actually a problem with this little quick disconnect valve right here. And on either side, there's a little push valve with a spring on it that when you push it, it goes open. And when you disconnect this, it closes. So when the fuel line is disconnected, you won't leak fuel everywhere. But for some reason it wasn't going together all the way, and it wasn't pushing the valves apart far enough to allow them to open. So I had to put a little washer in there, and now it's connected and I can blow through it a little bit. So we should be able to get fuel to the engine and through the primer bulb now. All right, let's try and prime this thing again. Still not going. All right, so I actually made this little spacer to put in there, and now this valve works just fine. But I still can't pump fuel through this new bulb right here for some reason. So I have to probably take this thing apart and see what in the world is wrong with it. All right, so I ended up just replacing this bulb right here with the old one because for some reason this one might be defective and it's just not working, and it's not sucking any fuel out of the tank, and I cannot figure out why. So I'll probably mess with it a little bit later, but for now I know this one does work, so we're just going to use it. There we go, now it's sucking fuel up. Looks like this does leak a little bit, probably just got some bad O-rings in it, but let's try and start this engine up. There we go. probably need to tune it a little bit, or at least just let it warm up. But I think we're good to put this thing in the water on the boat and go take it for a test drive. All right, so we just got the John boat in the water. Doesn't look like we have any leaks, at least with no weight in it right now. So I'm gonna go up and get the motor, and we're gonna take this thing out on the lake. All right, go ahead and start it up. Cool. Oh, out of the way.
Okay, that way is, oh, that's weird.
We're moving.
Whoa, this is some weird steering. If I go that way, it goes that way.
Yep.
Watch the front.
Yeah, that's how you steer one of these.
Oh, wow, this thing's good turning radius.
Use a primer bulb. Sometimes it doesn't suck fuel up.
Now you're touching the gas.
Pretty good for 5 horsepower. All right, we're gonna drive it around a little bit and I'll start up the camera if anything happens. All right, so now I'm gonna try the reverse on this thing. We're going backwards. The wind's kind of blowing us. There's a storm rolling in, so we gotta probably get in soon. Top speed on this thing, we got a total of a whopping 12 miles an hour, but still pretty good for a 5 horsepower engine. This thing's nice. Oh, I don't know. Pretty cool though. All right, so storm is right up on us, so we had to get this thing up under the dock right here. But overall, this thing is working really well. It's got a small leak over there in the back. There's a little bit of water in it, but the engine runs great, never died on us once. It's pretty powerful for only being 5 horsepower, and it had a top speed of 12 miles an hour, which is pretty good for what this thing is. So the next step in the process is, now that we've taken it for a test drive, I have to bring this thing back up on land and clean up this hull because it looks kind of ugly. And also these things right there, and there's 2 more right in there, I have to bolt them down, and I have to take a wire wheel on my angle grinder and grind off all this old paint. So let's wait for this storm to pass, and then I'll get this thing up on land and go clean this thing up. All right guys, so it's actually a couple weeks later at this point, and I've kind of run out of time to wire brush this thing. I've just had a lot of other things going on that I've been doing, and I haven't really had time to do this because it's going to be a pretty big job to go over this entire boat with a wire wheel. Although we did get these little brackets bolted down on all 4 seats right here so they don't rattle anymore. And my brother's actually been using this thing to go out fishing quite a lot, and it's been working pretty well. So unfortunately, I'm kind of out of time in this video to really clean this thing up and do the other things I wanted to do to it. So what I may do is eventually just post like a little bonus video or something of me cleaning this thing up, because I'm going out of town soon and I just don't really have time to really do this right now. So thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll probably be posting a bonus video of this at some point down the road. But for right now, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.